All right, we're finally getting back to chapter 25 of A Course in Miracles. Some of you might remember that before the new year, I was reading chapter 25, and now it's already after February, mid-February, and we're getting back to it. So here we go. We're on section 5 of chapter 25. Chapter 25 is called The Justice of God, and this is section 5, the state of sinlessness. The state of sinlessness is merely this: the whole desire to attack is gone, and so there is no reason to perceive the Son of God as other than he is. The need for guilt is gone, because it has no purpose and is meaningless without the goal of sin. Attack and sin are bound as one illusion, each the cause and aim and justifier of the other. Each is meaningless alone, but seems to draw a meaning from the other. Each depends upon the other for whatever sense it seems to have. And no one can believe in one unless the other were the truth, for each attests the other must be true. Attack makes Christ your enemy, and God along with him. Must you not be afraid with, quote, enemies like these? And must you not be fearful of yourself? For you have hurt yourself and made yourself your, quote, enemy, unquote. And now you must believe you are not you, but something alien to yourself, and, quote, something else, unquote, a, quote, something, unquote, to be feared instead of loved. Who would attack whatever he perceives as wholly innocent? And who, because he wishes to attack, can fail to think he must be guilty to maintain the wish while wanting innocence? For who could see the Son of God as innocent and wish him dead? Christ stands before you each time you look upon your brother. He is not gone because your eyes are closed. But what is there to see by searching for your Savior, seeing him through sightless eyes? It is not Christ you see by looking thus. It is the, quote, enemy, unquote, confused with Christ you look upon, and hate because there is no sin in him for you to see. Nor do you hear his plaintive call, unchanged in content in whatever form the call is made, that you unite with him and join with him in innocence and peace. And yet beneath the ego's senseless shrieks, such is the call that God has given him, that you might hear in him his call to you, and answer by returning unto God what is his own. The Son of God asks only this of you, that you return to him what is his due, that you may share in it with him. Alone does neither have it. So must it remain useless to both. Together it will give to each an equal strength to save the other, and save himself along with him. Forgiven by you, your Savior offers you salvation. Condemned by you, he offers death to you. In everyone you see but the reflection of what you choose to have him be to you. If you decide against his proper function, the only one he has in truth, you are depriving him of all the joy he would have found if he fulfilled the role God gave to him. But think not heaven is lost to him alone, nor can it be regained unless the way is shown to him through you, that you may find it walking by his side. It is no sacrifice that he be saved, for by his freedom will you gain your own. To let his function be fulfilled is but the means to let yours be. And so you walk toward heaven or toward hell, but not alone. How beautiful his sinlessness will be when you perceive it, and how great will be your joy when he is free to offer you the gift of sight God gave to him for you. He has no need but this, that you allow him freedom to complete the task God gave to him. Remembering that what he does, you do along with him. And as you see him, so do you define the function he will have for you until you see him differently and let him be what God appointed that he be to you. Against the hatred that the Son of God may cherish toward himself, is God believed to be without the power to save what he created from the pain of hell. But in the love he shows himself, is God made free to let his will be done. In your brother, you see the picture of your own belief and what the will of God must be for you. In your forgiveness, will you understand his love for you? Through your attack, believe he hates you, thinking heaven must be hell. Look once again upon your brother, not without the understanding that he is the way to heaven or to hell as you perceive him. But forget not this, the role you give to him is given you, and you will walk the way you pointed out to him, because it is your judgment on yourself. Okay, the state of sinlessness starts with the line, the state of sinlessness is merely this: the whole desire to attack is gone, and so there's no reason to perceive the Son of God as other than he is. That says it all right there. The rest is just footnotes to that, you could say. State of sinlessness. You have no desire to attack another. Why? Why would you not have even the desire to attack? And what does attack even mean? We'll have to talk about what attack is. But why would you not even have the desire to attack someone else? Because you understand, you have accepted the atonement principle. And what is the atonement principle? The atonement principle is that we are all one. We are all the one Son of God. We are all completely united and not separate. In not being separate, no attack is even possible. It's not even that you don't have the desire to attack, but you realize that attack is not even possible. If you attack another, you attack yourself, and why would you want to attack yourself? So that really gets to the heart of it, is when you attack another on any level, you're attacking yourself, and you're only attacking the other because you've already attacked yourself, right? You are already not at peace, and your attack of another is just demonstrating that you are not at peace, and that you have already attacked yourself. And so this is the Course in Miracles over and over again, and and it's very simple. And so why do you even need this whole long course to express what is really very simple? It's a question I think that we need to talk about over and over again too. Is like, this is all saying the same thing in so many ways, in so many different forms, right? The content remains the same. And form and content is a very big thing in the Course in Miracles. Jesus keeps emphasizing this distinction between form and content. Let me give one example. I hope I'm able to communicate this well. But before I do that, let's just finish that thought, which is, why does the Course in Miracles need to hammer this home the way it does, and why does it need to go to such great lengths, or why does Jesus need to go to such great lengths to say what is so simple in such a complex way? You could say that's part of the game of A Course in Miracles, and maybe the game of life. It's a game of hide and seek. You could say that God is hiding in plain sight. We don't see the truth, the naked truth, because we're not ready to yet. And the same thing with A Course in Miracles is it's saying something very, very clear, very pure, very simple. If we don't see it, and if we are struggling with A Course in Miracles, it means that we're not ready to see it yet, but we will see it. So I just want to bring up, I talked to someone the other day who was listening to an ACIM teacher who was talking about how whatever we see in another, whatever you could say darkness or depravity or something that we judge in another, we actually have in ourselves, and we're afraid to look at it, or we're not ready to see that in ourselves. And this person who was telling me this said that upset her, because there are certain things that other people do that she would never in a million years ever think of doing, like hurting a child, or rape, or whatever it might be. Things that most people would not think to do, but obviously some people do. It's a minority of people. So she had a problem with this teacher saying that, and she wasn't sure. She was like, well, I like a lot of what A Course in Miracles is saying, but this particular thing seems a little bit off to me, because I don't, if I judge another person because they have committed rape or done something horrible to a child or tortured someone, I would never, I'm judging them because, and I find that disgusting or whatever, not because it's in me, but because it's just objectively horrible. And and she was saying, I can't get around that. I can't see how that's even could ever be within me. And is the Course really saying that? And my answer to that is, I don't know. I don't know if anyone truly understands A Course in Miracles. And anyone that claims to, I would tend to question that. Now, on the surface, it does seem that Jesus is saying something like that in the Course, which is that whatever we see in another is really within ourselves, and we really are not in any position to judge another. Everything that someone else does, we do it in some other form. We do the same thing, and we all share the same. And if we really all are one, then, and we all share the same mind, then yes, then what someone else does is within us for sure. I think you can say that. On the other hand, who can really say that for sure? That's really the question is, who can truly say that is the truth? Because who has really, without a shadow of a doubt, experienced the truth of that? That's like an article of faith, actually. Jesus is telling us that is the truth, but do we believe it, and do we really know it is true? That's the question. So so when we attack another, say we see that this other person has done something horrible, and even if we don't attack them verbally or physically, but in our mind, we see them as worthy of punishment and worthy of hell and worthy of condemnation. And we hope that they get their comeuppance, and we hope that they're, whatever. So that is a form of attack. And on all forms of attack are Jesus says that love does not attack, love does not judge, love cannot judge, love cannot attack. It's impossible. So any form of attack, whether it's physical, whether it's verbal, whether it's just in your thoughts, or however it might be, is still attack. Attack is attack is attack, no matter what form it takes. Judgment is judgment, whatever form it takes. And when we attack another for anything, we are attacking ourselves, and we will be unhappy as a result, because we are not remembering the truth. We are not in touch with our true reality, and because we are not in touch with our true reality, we are making ourselves depressed and taking away our own joy. We're denying our own joy. We're denying our own peace. I think that these are kind of like cardinal principles, if you even want to use that term, of A Course in Miracles. Now I can say this, I can say the words. Do I really know it's true? Do I really believe it's true? That's a whole nother thing. I can definitely give you the explanation of what the Course is saying. Do I know beyond a shadow of a doubt it's true? I can't say beyond a shadow of a doubt that I can. So I think ultimately it comes down to what is the vision of Christ? What is Jesus getting at? The vision of Christ would be, you withhold judgment, you overlook everything, and because you trust in what Jesus is saying here. And that's why Jesus says, all I need is that little openness, that little willingness, because I know how hard this is. I know that when you see someone doing something unconscionable or something beyond the pale of right conduct, or even a horrific or truly awful thing, it turns our stomach. We want to puke, or we are completely disgusted, and we take our disgust to be the truth. And Jesus says, yeah, I know that is the case. I know how hard it is. So all I need is that little willingness, that little openness to see how, as I see, to see as the Holy Spirit sees, to see how I see, which is the same thing. And just that little willingness will show you the truth. Ultimately, will bring you to the truth of what I'm saying. It may not happen right away, but it could happen right away. But it might take a little time to undo the conditioning that you currently have. The conditioning that leads you to have those kinds of responses that you take seriously, like you have a biological response to someone or something, and you take that to be the truth. And Jesus is saying, no, that is not the truth. That is the biological truth. That is what your brain tells you. That's what your physical eyes tell you. That's what your what your conditionings tell you, your egoic conditionings tell you, but that is not the truth. Anyway, the last thing to say here is that, again, the way to God, the way to Christ, the way to God is through your brother. And you can't get there without totally forgiving what is right in front of your face. When you can forgive what is right in front of your face, which is what is happening in the here and now, you clear the way to remember your true reality, which is God. And God is just the term for your true reality. You don't have to use the term God if you don't want. But you can't do it without that complete forgiveness, which might not come right away, remember. But without the complete forgiveness of the other, the perceived other, quote unquote other, you cannot get there. And again, Jesus is hammering the idea home. He's not forcing it upon anyone. He's not telling you have to believe this. He's just repeating it endlessly. Anyway, hope this was helpful. Please let me know. Feel free to leave a comment always. And I'm going to continue with this chapter now that we finally got back to it. And I'm also going to be reading more from the Manual for Teachers and also from the workbook lessons. Thank you. See you soon.